Okay.
Bird's eggs.
Hi everyone. Today I thought, why not get outside? We've been stuck in our house for so long, so I am cooking outside today and I'm making a whole orange cake with spiced syrup. So I've just clicked on my week. I'll show you how I get there. Touch these three little lines up the top, then click my week, and I've already programmed my recipe that I'm cooking today from the Cookadoo app on my phone. I said I want to make whole orange cake with spiced syrup, so I clicked that cook today on my phone and it has just sunk to my machine. So handy. So I'm just going to click straight on it from screen here. So if we swipe up, we can just have a quick look at this recipe. So the difficulty is easy, prep time is 10 minutes, and total time is 2 hours and 20, but that's actually just because you've got to cook the cake and allow the cake to cool. So in reality, it doesn't actually take that long. If we swipe up here, you can see we've got our ingredients list. Holy cow, did you see that bird? We've got an ingredients list down the side here, which I always just make sure that I get out all of my ingredients ready. You don't have to chop them and pre-weigh them, but I definitely recommend getting your ingredients out first, just so that you can stand at your Thermomix and click next, next, next all the way through your recipe without having to run around your kitchen getting ingredients at each step. We've also got the steps that we can have a look at here, which I always encourage you to just quickly read through the steps so you know what's coming. And then if we swipe all the way to the bottom, each recipe has a hints and tips section, and I'll talk you through that in a bit. But for now, we're just going to swipe back up to the top and click that green start cooking button. So preheat the oven to 180. It even tells you what temperature to get the oven at. Hit next, grease and line a baking tray. So I have just got one of our gorgeous rose gold baking tins here, and I've just put the paper in the bottom and then folded a nice sheet of baking paper around the edge like so. So we're going to take the lid off. Because we took the lid off, we just have to hit tear, and it's asking us to put in 200 grams of butter cut up into the mixing bowl. You can see that the scales have come up on screen, so we can just chuck them straight in. Click next, and we're adding in a whole orange, peel and all. So I just gave these a good wash because the oranges from the shop are sometimes coated with a wax which you don't want to end up eating, so just give them a good wash. But besides that, it could not be easier, just the whole orange straight in. Now we're going to pop the lid on. We're going to mix this up for 15 seconds on speed 8. Just twist the dial round to the 8. Scrape down the sides with our spatula. Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. Look, 15 seconds, and look how it has blitzed up that orange and butter. So good. Take a picture of that. It's bloody beautiful. So just scraping down the sides. Sometimes I like to also just scrape down the lid because it does fling up there. Scrape it around. Hit next. So we're going to blend it up for another 5 seconds now. Now we're going in with 3 eggs, straight in. The colour of this is absolutely amazing. It is bright orange. Alright, in we go with 3 eggs. So I'm going in with this rapadura sugar, which is an unrefined type of sugar. Basically, it's just the juice of the sugar cane that is left to evaporate, and you're just left with these sugar crystals. So it's a less refined version of sugar. So I'm just going to hit tear I'm going in with 200 grams, so I'm just watching the scales as I do this. Alright, 300 grams of self-raising flour. If you don't have rapadura sugar, I'm sure you could use honey as a sweetener, or white sugar, or brown sugar, whatever you've got really. Now we're going in with 300 grams of self-raising flour. Again, the scales have come up already on screen. All I have to do is put the ingredients in. Super easy. Next, 20 grams of orange juice. Now I'm sure you all know this trick, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. Basically, when you're using oranges in a recipe, I like to take the peel off, even if I'm not going to use the peel, just because then you can whack that in your freezer and always have some on hand. The other thing that helps with juicing is just to give the orange a bit of a roll like this, get the juices going. Right, we're just going to squeeze 20 grams straight in. There it is. And then we're going to pop the lid on. Mix this up for 10 seconds on speed 5. So basically it's looking like this at the moment. Can you see that? So I'm just going to give it a bit of an extra mix with the spatula, just because sometimes it gets a little stuck to the edges. And then we're going to mix it up again. Yum. This time we're going to blend for 5 seconds on speed 5. So we're just going to pour this into the cake tin now. Basically this is going to bake at 180 for 50 to 60 minutes, and then we're going to allow it to cool completely. Wow, I just got to show you this batter. It looks amazing. Can you see that? Absolutely beautiful. It smells zingy and fresh. And oranges are in season at the moment, so it's a perfect time to make something like this. So I've scraped as much as I can out. A little tip for getting the rest of this sort of stuff out is to pop your bowl back on with the lid, jump out of the recipe by pressing the home button, swiping across, and we're going to turbo. And if we just turbo that for 1 to 2 seconds, it's going to fling all of that excess batter off our blade. Click back onto that bookmark green icon up there to take us back to that step we were up to, and then we can just scrape away the rest of that batter, because we don't want to waste it. It's so damn good. Can you see how that sort of flung everything right to the edge? So now it's a lot easier to scrape out like that. Check this out. So gorgeous. See the flecks of orange in there? Yum. Classic example of when it's a great idea to have your second bowl, which you can get from the mix shop, because I don't have to clean that dirty one right now. Going in with 160 grams of water. Okay, next we're going in with another lot of these rapadura sugar. 2 teaspoons of honey, which to be honest I'm just going to wing. I'm just going to tip a bit of honey in. We've got some beautiful aromats here. So we've got cinnamon quill, fennel seeds, cardamom seeds, and there's that orange peel I was talking about. So chuck in that cinnamon quill. We've got half a teaspoon of cardamom, which I'm just going to pop in. And half a teaspoon of fennel seeds. Yum. In with some star anise. And then an orange zested. Now this is going to cook away for 9 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 2. So basically now we're making a beautiful reduced sugar syrup with those gorgeous spices in it, and we're going to pour that over our cake when it's cooled from the oven. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Kind of like mulled wine kind of vibe, if you know what I mean. Basically it looks like a really dark, rich, syrupy kind of syrup. I've cooked my beautiful cake. It looks and smells absolutely amazing. And I have allowed it to cool for about 45 minutes. The cake did take a little bit longer than expected to cook, maybe about 55 minutes instead of 50. We'll take it out of its tin. Try and put it nice and centered on this plate. Center it up so it looks beautiful. Oh my gosh. And what we've got to do now is poke some holes into the cake with skewer, and this is going to help the syrup to soak down into the cake. I'm just going to strain it through this sieve into a jug. Now we only need 1/3 of this to pour on top of the cake, and then when you're serving the cake, drizzle a little bit extra on. With the excess, I would probably just keep it in the fridge and put it on some ice cream onto our cake. And the recipe just says to let it soak in for a few minutes before serving. Just to show you how I poked the holes in just with a skewer like that. Just a little bit extra on top. Here we have it, guys, our whole orange cake with spiced syrup.